Welcome to our channel Kodvati. In this video we will see about what are all the transformations available in SSIS and what are all the categories under which the transformations has been classified we will see, as well as row level transformations we will see in detail with small example. Okay, first we will see what is transformation. Yeah, it is a data flow component used to perform different operations, and it might include aggregation, join, split, sorting, lookup, and some data cleansing transformations also. So once the data has been extracted from source, we can apply transformation rules based upon the business requirements before loading the data into the targets. So for example, let's take, we need to load only the new records and we need to ignore the already inserted records into the target. So in this case, we can go for lookup transformation and SCD transformations to check the data, input data already exist in the target or not. We will see what are the categories available. So you can see here there are 6 categories under which each and every transformations has been classified. First category is business intelligence. As the name itself conveys, like it mainly used to perform business intelligence operations like data mining, correcting and cleansing the data. So it includes SCD transformations, fuzzy grouping, fuzzy lookup, term extraction, data mining query and cleanse and all. Okay. Next comes row transformations. It is mainly used to create a new columns as well as to update the already existing column values. And you can see here most of the transformation name itself contains column, copy column, derived column, export column. We will see this in detail in this video. Next comes row set transformation. It is mainly used to create a new row sets, and it includes sorting transformation, aggregate transformation, percentage sampling, row sampling, pivot, etc. Okay. Next comes split and join. It is used to mainly to merge and to do a split on the data. It includes merge, join, conditional split, union all, lookup and all. Okay. Next comes auditing. It is mainly used to add some audit information and to add the row count transformations. So using this we can like get the auditing information for business analysis purposes and all. Next comes custom category. In this we can see synchronous custom transformation with synchronous output and asynchronous output here. So we can create our own transformations. So what this synchronous output means, like here the rows will be flowing directly into the memory buffers in the transformation, and it will be coming out from the buffers directly, and no rows will be held up here. So here in synchronous output, it will be much faster. When we take asynchronous outputs, it will be much slower, as the rows will be held up in the buffer for each and every transformations getting applied on a particular row. Okay. So we will see each and every category in the upcoming videos. So first we will see this row level transformations and all the transformations with the example in this video. So first is character map transformation. It is mainly used to transform the input characters. So it includes features like converting the incoming data to lowercase, uppercase, and it includes reversing the byte order and mapping different language characters vice versa. And it includes mapping half width character to full width characters, and it includes additional information like linguistic casing and all. It includes like if a Windows is maintaining a particular code page, we can change that code page based upon our need. Okay, so we will see a small example how to use this character map transformation. So first we will see like what are the data available in the source table. So I'm having here employee ID, first name, last name, email and salary. Okay, this is my source data. So I'm going to change this first name to lowercase and last name to uppercase, and I am able to see here there are some lowercase as well as uppercase characters mixed up here in the email id. So I want to change it to all to lowercase. So I'm going to apply transformation on these three columns. Character map transformation we are going to apply. So I'm going to create a new integration project. So I'm going to name it as project create. Okay. Now I'm going to add a data flow task here. So I'm going to double click on that. Now I need to add a source. So double click this and configure. So you can create new connection, new. So my server name is my default database. It is a default database. So it is my basically my username. So I'm going to provide. Then it will automatically pop up what are all the databases has been created. I have created application 1. Give OK. It has created. Give OK. Now it will show what are all the tables available in this particular database. So employee source is my source table. You can preview and check 6 records we have here. So you can see mixed characters has been mixed with lowercase, uppercase and all. Close this. Give columns. You check once external column and output column. Give OK. Now I am going to add a character map transformation now. So here you can see there are 2 arrow marks. This is used to input this data to the next level transformation. This is used to redirect the error output. So I am going to add this input data to this character map transformation. So I am going to apply lowercase on first name, and I am going to apply uppercase on last name and email with lowercase. So here I am going to add it as a new column only. You can see here there are 2 options. So what will happen if I give new column means it will be creating a this particular apply transformation column as a new column. If I give in place change means it will be replacing the transformation rule applied on the input column itself. So I am going to create it as a new column only. So here I am going to apply lowercase. So you can see here what all I have explained. Byte reversal we can apply, and this is language, particular language character we can map to, and we can map half width, full width, linguistic casing and all I told, right? So all these we can apply using this particular transformation. Give OK. Next comes uppercase. We are going to apply on last name. Give OK. Next comes email. Apply lowercase. OK. So I'm going to change this. Lower first name, upper last name. Next comes lower email, like that. I have renamed this column name. Give OK. We will add now destination, target. We will add. Redirect this. Double click. So I have created already a table, target char map. So I am selecting this. So you can see here it has mapped already, like first name with first name, like that. So we need to change this to lower first name to this first name I have mapped, then last name with this and with this. Okay. So give OK. We can enable here for debugging purpose. We can enable here data viewer also. Just you can enable this. I'm going to run now. So you can see here what are the data flowing to the next level transformation using this data viewer. So just to check and for debugging purposes, we can enable this data viewer. And you can see here detach option and attach option will be there. If you provide this particular detach option, means what will happen, like here it has passed the flow of data. So it will be automatically processing the data to the next level of transformations, and it will complete that particular process itself. Okay. So I'm going to give detach. So you can see here it got completed. Okay. We will see how it has populated in the target. So here you can see first name has been changed. The values has been changed to lowercase, last name with uppercase, and email, all of the characters has been changed to lowercase. Okay. We will move on to next transformation. So this copy column, you can see here, it is mainly used to duplicate the source column values. So what will happen, it will add a new columns from the already existing column values just to duplicate the column values, and it will create a new columns here using this transformation. So we can go for this transformation mainly to perform multiple operations on a one single column, means we can go for this. Okay, just it is very simple. I will show you how it looks. I'm going to delete this and destination also. So you can see here, once we select input column, it creates a output column like with the same input column. So just we can create multiple columns on the input column. That's it, using this particular transformation. Okay. I'm going to delete this. We will move on to next transformation. Yeah, next comes derived column. Here also we can create new columns, but without the help of the like from the existing columns. Input columns, without the input columns we can create new columns using this particular transformation, but in the copy column we can create from the already existing columns only. So it is mainly used to like add a column which is not exist on the input, as well as to apply some expressions also we can apply using this derived column. Okay, so we will see once the source data and what transformation we are going to apply, we will see. So I'm going to do on the salary column, I'm going to do a like round off. I'm going to perform here. After one decimal, I'm going to round off this particular salary column value, as well as I'm going to concatenate this first name and last name, and I'm going to populate it into a new column full name in the target. Okay, so two transformation rules we are going to apply using this derived column transformation. Okay. So you can see here, same source only we are going to use. We will add now derived column transformation. So you can see here different functions available. Under mathematical functions we have many functions, and we have string functions also, datetime functions, null functions, and casting also we can perform, and different operators also we have. So based upon our requirement we can apply. So I'm going to add first name plus I'm going to add some space then last name. Okay, so you can see here plus is for concatenating. Okay, so I'm going to add it as a new column only, and I'm going to give name as full name. Okay, next I'm going to add salary column. Then you can see here round of operation is there. Okay, so I'm going to apply round of salary comma 1. Okay, so this one I'm going to r underscore salary. Okay, so give okay. Save this. I'm going to add the destination now. We will add the target table. So I have created already table target derived. Mapping we will check once employee ID mapped correctly, first name correctly, last name correct, email also correct. So full name has been mapped correctly. Rounded salary not mapped. Okay, so we will change this to this. Give okay. Save. I'm going to start the execution of this process. So it got succeeded. We will check once the target database. So you can see here in this full name, we got too many spaces here. After some space, it got applied. You can see here how much space was there. So this is mainly due to like data type in the source database. So we will see what data type we have provided. So you can see here I have provided nchar. So what happened, like after the number of characters has been provided as input, the remaining characters has been padded with spaces. So I'm going to apply ltrim function and I'm going to load again here to avoid this many spaces. So we can either change in the source data type as like varchar we can change for like I will apply now the transformation rule for now. Okay. So here we need to apply. You can see here under string functions ltrim function, rtrim function are there. So it shows it removes trailing spaces and it removes the leading spaces. So we will apply this. Okay. Ltrim of, rtrim of, so I'm going to rerun this package again. So we will check once the target once again. So now you can see here that spaces has been removed after like first name after last name and all. Okay, and you can see here salary has been populated after rounded off. So you can check here how the data was there before. So we have 2000.23, now it got rounded to 2000.20. Okay, we'll move on to next transformation. Yeah, next one is data conversion. As the name itself implies, it is used to convert the data from one data type to another data type. Okay, so we will see the source data once. So here I have salary. For salary we have data type as money. Okay, so I'm going to change like in the target I have changed data type to nchar. Okay, so we will see how integration service behaves when I try to populate it into string without data conversion transformation. Okay, so I'm going to add here, yeah, destination I will add here. So I'm going to add the target data conversion which I have created already. So in mappings, you can see here salary mapped to salary. Give OK, Control S. I'm going to start now. Okay. So it got succeeded. We will see whether data populated properly or not. So it has taken already by default, by implicit conversion, it has populated salary column value. So it has not thrown any error. So you can see here in SSIS it automatically converts like money data type to string automatically. Okay. So I will show with data conversion also how to convert. So I will add salary column. So it is showing now currency. I'm going to change it to string. And I will rename this to string salary like that. Okay. Now I will change it to 200 length. Okay, that's it. Now I will add the destination. Okay, I have added. Mappings we will check once. Here you can see salary has been mapped to salary. I'm going to change this s underscore salary to salary. Give OK. Save this. Before we run this package, we need to truncate the table first. So first I will delete the records. Okay. Now we will run this package. So it got succeeded now. We will check once the target database. So now also it has populated properly. As we have not like loaded full name, it is showing null values here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Data conversion, we can make use of it when we want to change the data type. Okay. So next comes export column transformation. So this transformation mainly used to like export the data from the SQL server to the file system. For example, we have some blob data stored in the SQL server, like some images we have stored in the SQL server. We want to like copy those images and want to extract those images into the file system, means we can go for this particular transformation like that. Okay, so I will show you like source data, how I have inserted the blob content first. So here you can see I have loaded IDs, just like sequence number I have created. Then each and every image I have stored it as a blob content here, and then target path where I need to copy this particular like this blob content, where I need to extract it to the path, particular path I have provided here. So I used insert command and I have used some built-in functions, open row set, bulk, single blob. These functions I used to load the blob content into this SQL Server tables. Okay. So already I have inserted around 6 images blob content over this particular column. Okay. Then comes we will apply the transformation. So first I am going to remove this. I'm going to change the source. Export columns we will check once. ID image path showing. So I will show you once the target path. You can see here there is no images has been extracted before. So it's empty with some file list. Okay. So I'm going to add now export transformation. I have added. So here it is asking for the extract column. Here I need to provide which contains the blob content. So img is my column which contains the image blob content here. So file path column is path. So we have multiple options here: allow, append, force truncate, which is used to like delete if already the values has been present in the target, like that, and write byte mark. Those options are there. We can use it if required. Give OK just to save and start the execution. So you can see here it got succeeded. Now we will check the target folder. You can see here we have got all the images extracted into the target folder. So it's very easier, just a drag and drop we need to do, and just click on this and provide the extract column and file path column. That's it. It has extracted the data from directly from the database to the target file system. We will move on to the next transformation, import column. So it is a vice versa of export column transformation. So what it does is like here we have exported image content from server, SQL server to file system. Here we are going to do import from file system to SQL server. Okay, we'll see how to do. So I have already provided here file name list. Okay, so images list I have provided. Under src underscore pics folder I have some images. So I need to load this blob content into the target database. Okay, so first I am going to check once the target table whether it is empty or not. So you can see here it is empty. At the source, so my source is a flat file, so I am going to configure. So I am going to create a new connection. I will provide name as flat file list. We need to browse now that particular file. Click on this file. So my path is this one. So give open. So you can see here delimiter already it is taking CRLF by default. So if you need to change, you can change it. And column delimiter it's showing us comma. It's correct only. So you can check once the data also here. Give OK. Preview you can check once again. Press OK. Okay. Now we will add import data transformation. So we will connect now flat file this input to import column transformation. Now double click this and go to input columns. Now you can check this column. This is my input column name which contains the file path along with the file name. Click on this. Go to input and output properties. You can see here input column it comes here, and output column we need to add now. So I am going to provide here as. So what happens from this particular path, from this images list column, So from that it will take each and every path and it will extract that into a blob content and it will load it into the SQL server. Okay. So I'm giving output column as blob image. So now I need to map this output column to input column. For that we need this lineage ID. Copy this and provide it here. File data column ID I need to provide here. So both got linked now. Click OK. Save this. I need to add destination table where this particular data need to be stored. I need to provide here. So I need to specify the table name. So I am adding destination table. Double click this. Go to table. So already I have created. I am selecting this table. Sample images import. Mappings you can check. So images list is nothing but it contains path of my source. And blob image is nothing but the blob content of each and every files getting stored in this particular list. So I'm mapping this to this and this. Okay. Now you click on OK. Save. Start the execution. So it got succeeded. We will check once the table now. So I'm going to check this table. So you can see here now it stored the blob content and the path, each and every file path it has stored source. So next we will move on to the next transformation. So next comes script component transformation. This contains mainly this transformation is used to create a custom one. Like we can write our own C# script to create tables, insert contents like that. So if you know C# script, you can directly write like commands you can write and you can write statements and you can execute that particular script through SSIS. Okay. So I'm not getting much detail into that. So you can explore on that. Okay. Next comes OLEDB command. It is mainly used to run the SQL statements like insert, update, delete. We can perform through SSIS. So we will see a small example for this. So I'm going to use this table only, employee SRC table only. I'm going to use same table. So I'm going to insert this particular table values to character map table. This table I'm going to use as the target. So I'm going to dynamically get the values from this employee SRC each and every rows through SSIS and I'm going to insert it into this particular table. Okay. So we will see how we can implement through SSIS. So first I need to add OLEDB source. So double click this table. I need to add, it is my employee source table only. So click that. Columns check once. Yeah, this is correct. Click on OK. I'm going to add OLEDB command. So click on this connection I need to provide here. So it is my local server only, Prasanna application one. I'm clicking. So I need to add here SQL command. Insert command I need to insert here. Okay, I already typed that command. So insert into table name I have provided and then column name and then values. Question mark represents like it will dynamically get the values through the input data. So provide here. Click on OK. So navigate to column mappings. So first question mark here, it represents parameter 0 here in this destination column. Okay, this parameter 01 represents first question mark here and second question mark here represents first name, third one represents last name, fourth one email, salary. So we need to map it here properly. So as my source column and destination column both are in same order, I'm just dragging sequentially. Okay. That's it. Give OK. Save this. We can start executing this package now. So it got succeeded. We will go and check the target. So before it was empty. Now we will execute and check. Yeah, now it got loaded. You can see here 6 records inserted. So using this command, we can update, delete easily. Dynamically, we can delete, and we can provide flat file as the source, and we can send some input data. Okay. Yeah, these are all the row level transformations available in SSIS. So in our upcoming videos, we will see business intelligence transformations and then row set transformations, etc. Okay. So I have listed some questions here. So you need to be clear on each and every transformations. So how this row transformations works, and how like copy column and derived column, how both differ, and like what are all the expressions we can implement through derived column. So if a person asks you to implement like scenario based questions, if he provide means, you need to be like able to do that. So you can explore this different expressions and operators available in this derived column transformation. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Yeah, bye for now.